I am just reading Deuteronomy 7. And as I read that his loving kindness, which he swore to you, your forefathers, he will love you and bless you. And you know what? The last time I read this, I actually prayed specifically for maybe about anywhere from like 9 to 11 characteristic traits. And then I put it in my Bible, but I began to attend Bible studies. I had just broken up with a boyfriend, and I just felt like that needed to end. And God, you be the judge now, because I felt like, let that part, let the decision making be in God's hands, not mine anymore. And I felt like the outcome would be way better because now God was the one that chose the person for me to relate with. So I remember going to a Bible study and sharing with a friend named Linda, and Linda was the one that was looking, inspiring me to make that list. But she was like, "Girl, there's some people that God don't even bring around other people because He wants, His chosen, His children, His sons and His daughters, like to focus, to continue to focus on their plans for Him." And so, how about you just cut it down and pick out the main ones, just the non-negotiables. And I was like, okay, so I was able to cut it down to like five or four maybe on that list, and I made a whole new list, and I just focused on the ones that I were non-negotiables to me. And I mean, in like 2 weeks, I had met someone, and I was in awe of this person. I've just really met not a lot of wonderful people, but just some people that were right off the bat just out of this amazing. Amazing. They're around amazing people that allow them to accomplish a lot and pursue a lot. And this particular gentleman had a lot of really good characteristic traits. Now, he was cut off from being out and about, but I was able to catch him on one day where he had had followed his cousin to a function, and I was invited by my dad, who was a part of that organization hosting that function. So that's why I attended. But the guy and I met up there, and we talked ever since that night, and it lasted for a few months. But now that I think about it, even if God were to, yes, I do believe that that person was my answer to that list. I believe that that person was my answer. And I broke it off. God will give you good things, but because of who we are, yes, we can destroy it and mess it up and send it on its way back out. Get away from me. That was years ago. That was over 10 years ago. Do I still think that I'm in that same mindset as I was then? Do I still think that I could pray for something good? God could hear and honor that, and I could mess it up? Yeah. So what I've learned since then is to make sure that I pray for the qualities and the training and the skills, the character, the heart, the mindset. I'm going to need what it takes. I don't know if it's a skill, a talent, a characteristic trait, a heart posture. I don't know what it is, or the many things that it is, to keep and maintain, to have that answer prayer and longevity. Because God will answer it, but I did. But in my past, God has answered a prayer, but I didn't have the longevity. But that was my fault. So in order for me to not repeat that, I want to be able to see what I could do, God could do in me, and just make it to where I'm a lot more mature, a lot more wiser, just more responsible, whichever. That particular relationship, I was dating that young man that I met at that organizational party, and let's call him O. All right, let's call him O. I had met O, but yet the guy I had broken up with, that made me say, okay, I'm over. I chose him. That was my former boyfriend, and we were were always arguing, always fighting. And it was physically draining. It was physically, I would have to take a nap sometimes. I'd have to not only take a nap, I remember having to I would just need peace and silence. And then I would need to just kind of check out and withdraw every time I was with him. It was a lot. And I don't know if he liked it or whatever, but there was always something I did wrong. He was kind of critical, and I allowed it though. I allowed it. It was how I felt about myself. I also did not know like my rights and my authority to know that I have the authority to, throw away food that I'm not eating. I mean, I don't have to do this. I don't have to give it to someone else. I don't have to save it for later. I don't, there were so many things that he would find. My former boyfriend, let's call him Star or whatever. So Star would constantly, even in my past videos, you'll hear his name. Some of the videos are titled with his name, but for the purpose of this story, I just didn't realize how he would just argue about everything. And I wasn't aware that these were actually things that he could have just chosen not to argue about. But I found myself involved. I found myself feeling challenged, and I was not able to step outside of his complaint and his negativity and be like, wow, you're just negative. This is nothing to negate about. This is just something that you're choosing again to fulfill his tendency to argue. And so, but I did know that I didn't like him. That's all I was able to receive. That's all I was able to gather up. And so when I didn't necessarily break it off, but I called my ghosting him breaking it off. I just tried to stop talking to him. But then he began to visit my home and then and mingle with my parents. He would drink with my father and then give gifts to my mom. And I found him in the house visiting at least like five times. I remember him being dressed for church one day, and I was getting dressed for church. And church is actually the services I was going. I was a Catholic at the time. He was there already dressed, and I got out from I go jogging, then I get dressed, and I go to a different service. And my parents never really got into like my schedule because I was volunteering. I had a job, and I had co-op. The co-op was for school, but I had another job where it wasn't like for grades or anything. And so when they would see me moving about, they just felt like, oh, she's responsible. We understand that whatever she's doing, we're just like, and they would just wish me a great day. But whenever he would come visit, they would be like, oh, do you guys want to do it together? Oh, do you guys want to do it together? And so I'm thankful that they did that, because I would never impress upon my children to do any dang on thing with their personal time if they choose not. I can offer their suggestion, and then that'd be it. That'd be it. But I ended up leaving just because Star was constantly always there, and we would argue about, I wouldn't plan on going to church with you. Well, I wouldn't plan on walking with you. I wouldn't plan on it. I mean, I know you're already here, and I could go with you, but no, I need to check out. Like, there's a reason why I didn't call you for 4 days or 5 days or whatever. But not knowing my authority, not knowing that I have the authority to choose whichever I wanted to do, and with my time and my peace and my patience and my life, the days and my time, and like standing in it, like I would challenge it, like, no, I really don't want to do that, and I would verbalize that, but like standing 10 toes down, be like, excuse me, sir, you don't have, like, drawing that line. I never spoke in the sense of, may I ask why you're telling me I need to do this? May I ask why you guys are forcing that? Like, use these terms and let people be aware that, like, I took a shower so that I could go do this. If I wanted to do it, like, I didn't speak in that way. I speak in that way now, but that's because of age, not necessarily because of wisdom. Maybe a little bit of like experience from back then, but I wish that I knew that I had the choice not to be with that person. So we ended up getting married, and it was dreadful every single dang on day. When he and I related, but I found other things to invest my time and my attention in. But it was sometimes it was just too much. It was too much. So now I do believe that I would still need to have a heightened sense of self and understand when I am sensitive when someone's trying to encroach on my time, on my person, or anything of mine, even on my ideas. Then I like to cut them off. I can't do ghosting with people that I work with or people that are in my neighborhood or whatever. But I haven't evolved to those areas because ghosting isn't a very active way of drawing the line. And so I could repeat the same mistake of having someone like, oh, be pushed out of my life because someone way more aggressive and way more assertive is entangling me in what I actually don't like. And so therefore we're still relating at way more instances than with someone that I actually do like. Because they were encroaching on my time, my peace, my patience, my place, my where I was actually living. And so if it were in my house, if it were in, I don't know about my house, but I mean, I'd hate to have to retreat to my house, but I don't want to use ghosting. I'm going to have to learn to be a lot more active, way more verbal, way more upfront. This is a no. I'm not considering you for anything. We can talk when we're here at work. We can talk, whack and wave at you when I'm going down this neighborhood street or whichever. But I'm not asking and I'm not looking forward to anything from you right now. Is that something that you can understand? Okay, what are you not clear about? Okay, well, I've said what I've said, and I pray that you come to clarity on your end moving forward. Something like that. I've got to be more upfront because the last thing I want is to continue praying and wanting good things and wanting great things and wanting loving kindness personified. And then I'm not fervent to go and get what is good because I actually believe within myself. I'm not. Well, that's a second thing. That's another thing. I'd hate to have God hear a prayer and then I mess it up. But the other thing is that I've got to make sure that I do believe that when something good is happening, that yeah, this is good and that it's okay to have it. Sometimes I like to beat around the word deserve because I don't just think I deserve anything. I don't think any of us do. But yeah, get good things. Not all things have to be struggle. Not all things have to be physically exhausting, and then we can be rewarded with it. Some things are coming easier for people, and they're asking for a good job and they're getting. They're asking for a raise and they're getting. They're asking to work from home and they're getting that. And I want to be able to have something good in my life, and then I acknowledge it. I allow it to, I pursue it. I am active toward engaging with it, and I display that I like it, and then I hold on to it. And if anything outside shall try to take my attention again, deprive me of the good thing, I shall fight what is outside. I shall make it known that I do, like, cut stuff off, get the police involved, something. Start filing charges. I have told you I don't want this, I don't want that, and just hold on to what is good. Believe that this is good and that it is for me. It's my answered prayer, and God has given it to me. Because God has given it to me, I will nurture it and I will hold on to it and I will protect it and I will shield it. And I will not give it away like Esau did for soup. I will not give it away in exchange for any other thing on earth. This is mine. God has given it to me, and He heard me and He answered me. This is mine. Ooh. I pray to be fervent about what God hears and about the answered prayers. I want to be fervent, maintaining and holding on to my answered prayers. Oh, I need to know who my authority is, and it's only God. God didn't say that. God didn't send you. You are not the messenger. You're not the prophet. And two, I need to be fervent about maintaining my answered prayers. That'll change me for now, and I will not have a repeat. And God hears and answers the prayers of my future. Ooh, glory be to God. It is sad that that at that time when God gave me that, that I didn't even feel like, I felt like, yes, it was good and I was enjoying it. But when I started arguing with Star, then I was like, well, he's not, it would just be easier for me to break up with O and then just start and get, it would just be easier. But it was actually very difficult to be with Star. It was very difficult. I was explaining myself, where I am, where I'm about, what I'm doing. And he doesn't even just need him. He needs to be, only God knows. Because I'm just a person. And all glory be to God that I realize this now. And I pray that God hears and answers my prayers for the change I need to make within. The change Yahweh needs to make within me in order to start having amazing things in my life as well. Hallelujah.